Hello and welcome to F1 Livery Histories, the channel where we take a look back at the different paint jobs, racing trims and sponsor decals adopted by respective Formula 1 teams throughout the eras. Today we'll be analysing a team which was formed by the Red Bull Energy Drink Company to serve as a development ground for the Red Bull Racing Team. A team that, whilst existing as a secondary lineup, has gained a reputation over the years for being an even more colourful presence on track than its senior team, Scuderia Toro Rosso. The formation of Scuderia Toro Rosso traces back to the purchase of the Italian-based Minardi Formula 1 team, completed by Red Bull owner Dietrich Mateschitz in late 2005. Henceforth, the Minardi team became known as Scuderia Toro Rosso, an Italian translation of Red Bull, with the new team paying its tributes to the Italian heritage of the Minardi team by establishing its headquarters at Minardi's existing facilities in the Italian town of Faenza. Along with Minardi's physical assets, Toro Rosso would also inherit Minardi's existing engine contract, as the team prepared to line up for its introductory Formula 1 season powered by Cosworth engines. So begins our retrospective on the vastly colourful and animated Scuderia Toro Rosso. The Mark Smith and Gabriele Tredozzi designed STR1 chassis first lined up on a Formula 1 grid at the 2006 Bahrainian Grand Prix, with former Red Bull driver Vitantonio Liuzzi and winner of the Red Bull Driver Search competition, American driver Scott Speed, fulfilling driver duties. The STR1 was a modified version of the Red Bull RB1 chassis, which in itself had a design derived from the Jaguar R5 chassis. Along with a wealth of technical expertise shared from its senior counterpart, Scuderia Toro Rosso would make its presence known to the Grand Prix world by competing with a livery that bore many similarities to the one used by Red Bull Racing. The car came with a navy blue livery, heavily attired with Red Bull branding, complete with the company's "Gives You Wings" motto upon its rear wing, as well as the now famous Red Bull logo upon its nose cone. What set Toro Rosso apart from Red Bull Racing was its artistic approach to the company's Red Bull mascot, as the STR1 came with a much larger and much more detailed charging bull gracing its engine cover. Toro Rosso would also stand apart from Red Bull Racing by competing with a gold-tipped nose cone. The following year, Toro Rosso would switch from Michelin to Bridgestone rubber, BP fuels to Shell fuels, and from Cosworth to Ferrari power, producing the Adrian Newey designed STR2. Once again, the team's chassis bore much in common with that of Red Bull Racing. However, the two sister teams were able to avoid persecution by the FIA by employing its lead designer, Adrian Newey, to a newly founded, independent company known as Red Bull Technology, which allowed both teams to field largely identical cars due to the fact that the chassis design was created by an ostensible third-party supplier. The team would retain the STR2 heading into the 2008 season, before developing the STR3, which in the hands of Sebastian Vettel took out the team's first, and to date, only win at the Italian Grand Prix. Vettel's win at Monza would not only prove to be the first win for Toro Rosso, but the first win for either team competing under the Red Bull banner. 2009 would see the team produce the STR4 chassis, which once again came with a consistent livery, although the team would begin to promote a more varied range of companies owned by Red Bull, such as Red Bull Cola, Red Bull Hangar 7, and Red Bull Mobile. Along with this, the team would promote convenience store chain Lawson upon its side pods for the Japanese Grand Prix. The following season, the team would produce its first chassis designed completely in-house, the all-new STR5. 2010 would also see the first substantial change made to the team's livery, as the new car came with flowing touches of red emanating from its nose cone, adding yet another venturesome element to an otherwise already exciting livery. The team would also sign multi-industry giants Siemens as sponsors. This design motif would be continued with the Pirelli shod STR6 chassis. The new car would devote space on its monocoque to promote lifestyle magazine The Red Bulletin, along with Canadian chemicals company Nova. Additional sponsorship would come in the form of Red Bull-owned online publication Speedweek, whilst midway through the season the team would add gold to the sides of the car's front wing and the edges of its side pods to welcome aboard new sponsors Falcon Private Bank. 2012 saw the team expanding its sponsors portfolio even further, with the addition of multinational oil and gas company CESPA now occupying the rear wing of the STR7. The team would also slightly alter its red and gold decorations seen on the car, giving the new car a somewhat revitalised look. In 2013, the team would produce the STR8, the first Toro Rosso car designed by James Key, which again came with an unchanged livery, albeit now featuring sponsorship from computer software company CD Adapco. The 2014 season marked a change to Renault power, as the team manufactured the STR9. Along with the change to Renault came a switch to French fuel suppliers Total. The new car would again feature numerous similarities with Toro Rosso cars of the past. However, the team had now opted for more rigid-looking blocks for the use of its intonation colours. Investment company Sapinda would join the team in 2014, seen on the car's mirrors and the sides of the front wing. 2015 would see the launch of the STR10, which was once more painted in Toro Rosso's recognised colour scheme, topped off with its customary charging bull upon the car's engine case. In 2016, the team would compete with the STR11, which came powered by Ferrari and boasted new sponsorship from multinational computer technology company Acronis, Spanish lager Estrella Galicia, and Japanese electronics company Casio, which marketed its watch brand, Edfis. Along with the switch back to Ferrari came a change to Shell fuels. In 2017, the team resurfaced with the all-new STR12 chassis, which came with a significant livery overhaul. Gone were the team's traditional shades of navy blue, red and gold, replaced by the royal blue, red and silver of Red Bull Cola. The team would also discard its animated charging bull, as the new car featured a silver bull, much more in keeping with Red Bull branding. 2017 would also see the team returning to a Renault supply of engines, whilst forming a partnership with Mobil Fuels. The STR13, produced for season 2018, became the first Toro Rosso car to be powered by Honda engines, as the team took on the Japanese engine supplier ahead of its senior team's eventual plans to partner with Honda. Toro Rosso would play an integral part in helping Honda realise its ambition of once again becoming a race-winning engine supplier. In 2019, the team would build the STR14, the final Toro Rosso car designed by longtime technical director James Key, with Red Bull Cola branding once again forming the main focus of the team's livery. New sponsors for 2019 included holdings company MyWorld and the Canadian Moosehead Breweries Company, which promoted its Moose Craft cider brand. In the hands of Daniel Kvyat, Alexander Albon and Pierre Gasly, the STR14 would help propel Toro Rosso to a record 6th position in the constructors' standings, with podium finishes in both Germany and Brazil. Heading into season 2020, it has been decided that Scuderia Toro Rosso will be renamed to Scuderia AlphaTauri, as the team is set to promote the Red Bull-owned AlphaTauri fashion brand as part of its new name. Whilst the Red Bull racing team has gone on to become one of the most successful constructors of the modern era, rarely did the benefits of its close-knit relationship with Toro Rosso get enough of a mention. Drivers which have achieved an abundance of success whilst driving for Red Bull Racing, such as Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen, all owe a debt of gratitude to Scuderia Toro Rosso and the Red Bull Driver Development Program. For more than 14 seasons, the Toro Rosso squad has been one of the underpinning strengths of the overall Red Bull Racing directive, and will most likely remain in Formula One, under one name or another, for as long as Red Bull stays in the sport. Red Bull's rebranded junior team is set to reveal its new car on February 14th, 2020.